Chosen one, stop. Stop everything you are doing right now. Yes, everything. Put your phone down. Close your other tabs. Turn off the noise of the world. Pause the chaos in your mind. Because what I am about to reveal to you in the next few minutes is not just content. It is not just another video on your feed. This is something heaven has been holding back, waiting and preparing for this exact millisecond. Not yesterday, not last week, not even an hour ago, but right now. If you scroll away, if you let your mind drift for even one breath, if you treat this like just another notification, you'll miss a window that has been opening for you since the moment you took your first breath. And you need to understand something about the architecture of heaven. Some windows do not open twice. This is a divine interruption. You did not click on this. Your spirit summoned this. The algorithm of this world thinks it showed you this video based on your watch history, but the algorithm of heaven navigated you here based on your destiny. Let me be crystal clear before we go any further. This message is not for everyone. In fact, if you share this with the wrong people, they won't even understand it. They will call you crazy. They will call you obsessed. This is not for the curious. This is not for the casual tourists of the spiritual realm. This is not for those who are still playing games with their destiny, wanting the crown without the cross. This is not for the ones who are comfortable in the matrix, sleeping through their lives, satisfied with the mundane. If that is you, please leave. This frequency will irritate your demons. But if you are still here, if you feel a magnetic pull in your chest, if you feel a vibration in your hands or a heat in your spirit, then this message is for you. This message is only for the survivors. This is for those who survived the fire when everyone else told them to burn. This is for those who kept believing when logic screamed at them to stop. This is for those who endured battles they never asked for, losses they didn't deserve, and betrayals that should have shattered their minds. I am talking to you, the one who has endured the silent nights. You know the nights I'm talking about. The nights where you cried until you tasted the salt of your own tears. The nights where you stared at the ceiling asking, God, where are you? Have you forgotten me? Did I miss the turn? This is for those who passed tests they didn't even know they were taking, while the world watched you and wondered why you wouldn't break. Heaven was watching you and writing down your name. You are the one who stayed. You are the one who didn't turn bitter. You are the one who transformed. And because you stayed, heaven says, the time has come. Listen very carefully now. There are truths God could not tell you before today. I know you have been frustrated by the silence. I know you have felt ignored, but you need to understand the physics of revelation. God didn't hide the truth from you. He hid it for you. He didn't speak earlier, not because you weren't loved, and not because you weren't chosen. He stayed silent because the revelation you are about to receive carries weight. Truth has mass. Destiny has voltage. If God had dropped this revelation on you 3 years ago, or even 3 months ago, it would have crushed you. You weren't structurally ready to carry it. Your spiritual nervous system would have fried. You had to grow, you had to break, you had to heal, you had to become spiritually fortified enough to hold what God has prepared without cracking under the pressure. Think of a deep sea diver. If they come up to the surface too fast, the pressure change kills them. God has been bringing you up slowly. He has been acclimating you. And now, finally, you have reached the surface. You are ready. Heaven has been silent for a reason. Silence is not rejection. Silence is incubation. You have reached a level of spiritual awareness, emotional strength, and divine alignment that the Lord needed you to reach. This moment right now, reading these words, hearing this voice, it is not random. It was scheduled on the calendar of heaven before the foundations of the earth were laid. God had to wait. Think about Joseph in the Bible. God gave him the dream when he was a boy. He saw the stars bowing to him. But the full revelation, the manifestation of that power didn't come until after the pit. It didn't come until after the betrayal by his own blood. It didn't come until after the slavery in Potiphar's house. It didn't come until after the false accusations and the years of rotting in a prison cell. Why? Why did God wait? Because the Joseph who bragged about his dream was not the Joseph who could save the world. He had to become the person his destiny needed him to be. The dream came early, but the manifestation required transformation. The same is true for you, chosen one. Look at your life. Look at the last 24 months. You have walked through a warfare that would have sent ordinary people to the asylum. You faced doors that slammed in your face when you were 100% sure they were your breakthrough. You faced seasons where heaven felt like brass, cold, hard, and silent. You faced moments where you questioned your own sanity. But look at you. You are still here. You didn't quit. You didn't compromise your integrity. You didn't sell your soul for a quick fix. God wasn't waiting for your situation to change. He was waiting for you to change. And now you have. You have been strengthened. You have been awakened. You have been refined in fires that would have turned others to ash. Only now can you receive the truth without collapsing. Here is the truth. And when I speak this, something inside your solar plexus is going to vibrate because your spirit already knows it. You were never fighting just to survive. You thought you were surviving. You thought you were just trying to pay the bills, trying to keep your marriage together, trying to stay sane. But you were wrong. You are being sculpted. Every closed door was a chisel strike. Every betrayal was sandpaper smoothing out your rough edges. Every delay was the kiln firing you into hardened clay. Every lonely night was the artist stepping back to look at his work. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. None of it was accidental. And hear me clearly. None of it was punishment. The enemy wants you to think you suffered because you sinned, or because you were stupid, or because you made bad choices. No. The enemy attacked you because he saw your destiny long before you did. Demons recognize authority before humans do. The enemy attacked you because you are a threat. You are not ordinary. You never were. That is why ordinary experiences never satisfied you. That is why you have always felt like a misfit, like a puzzle piece that doesn't fit in the puzzle of this world. You tried to fit in. You tried to dumb yourself down. You tried to shrink to fit into their boxes. But you couldn't. And now heaven is revealing the full truth you didn't fit in because you were built to stand out. Your spiritual promotion has been activated. Your next season has already begun. Chosen one. God is speaking now because the shift around you is already happening. That warfare you have been feeling for the last few weeks. That wasn't just bad luck. It was the last stand of the enemy. It was the final resistance before the breakthrough. The exhaustion in your spirit was the sign that the season was turning. And now, we're going to talk about the architecture of time and why the next few days are the most critical days of your life. Before I go deeper into the specific instructions for the days ahead, I need you to understand something crucial about the nature of this moment. What is happening to you right now is not just spiritual in the way you usually think of it. It is not just about vibes, feelings, or intuition. It is scientific. It is cosmic. It is architectural. We serve a God of order, a God of seasons, and a God of divine mathematics. When God created the world, He didn't just throw paint at a canvas randomly. He built a structure. He created time. He created boundaries. And He created portals. And right now, there are specific coordinates approaching that heaven has marked on the calendar of your destiny. I'm not talking metaphorically, and I'm not speaking in riddles. I'm talking about actual points in time where dimensional shifts occur, where the veil between the physical realm and the spiritual realm gets so thin that you can almost put your hand through it. These are moments where divine downloads become available like a massive data transfer. And if you are not positioned correctly, you will miss the transmission. Heaven is pointing to a specific window coming up the first, second, and third of the new cycle. Whether this is the beginning of the month or a specific spiritual cycle you are entering, these 3 numbers are the keys. Write them down in your mind and burn them into your consciousness. These are not just dates on a calendar. This is a 72-hour spiritual chamber that heaven has been preparing for you. In the Bible, the number 3 represents divine perfection, completeness, and resurrection. Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. Jesus was in the tomb for 3 days. Paul was blind for 3 days before his sight was restored and his mission began. Why 3 days? Because the spiritual law dictates a specific sequence. The first day is for death, the ending of the old. The second day is for burial, the transformation in the dark. And the third day is for resurrection, the new beginning. You are approaching this 72-hour portal right now. This is divine architecture built into time itself. God doesn't work in coincidence. He works in patterns and sequences and in alignment. These next 3 days represent the beginning of your new beginning, the activation of what has been dormant, and the unlocking of what has been sealed. Now let me explain what is actually happening to your body and your mind right now, because I know you have been scared. I know there have been moments recently where you felt like you were losing your mind. Most people are experiencing these symptoms and have no idea what they mean. They run to the doctor, they run to the therapist, they run to the pharmacy, trying to numb the sensation. But you are running to God because your spirit knows this is not a medical condition, it is a spiritual ascension. For weeks now, maybe even months, you have been feeling things you cannot fully explain. Your emotions have been turning sharp and unpredictable. 1 minute you are crying, tears of deep release. The next, you are filled with a holy rage against injustice, and the next, you are completely numb. Your mind has been racing at 100 miles per hour, even when you are physically exhausted. You lay down to sleep, begging for rest, but your brain is downloading files you didn't ask, for replaying scenarios and solving problems you haven't even faced yet. Your body has been reacting with strange aches ringing in the ears, waking up at exactly 3:00 a.m. every single night, or feeling a distinct pressure between your eyes. And your spirit has been violently pulling away from old conversations, old environments, and old patterns. You thought it was stress. You thought it was burnout. You thought maybe you were having a breakdown. But no, chosen one, you are not falling apart. You are being recoded. Your old frequency is collapsing. Your old calibration is dissolving. Your old identity is being unhooked from your spirit because a higher version of you is waking up. The you that survived the trauma is dying so that the you that rules the destiny can live. Most people will never understand what I am about to tell you. They will live their whole lives in the shallow end of the pool, satisfied with the surface level of existence. But you are here because your spirit recognized this message before your mind could process it. So let me break down the 3 layers of this transformation happening inside you right now. The first layer is the energetic shift. Your entire energy field is being retuned. Think of a radio. For years you have been operating on the AM frequency. It worked. It got you here. But it was filled with static, it had a limited range, and it was low fidelity. Now, God is shifting you to the FM frequency, clearer, stronger, sharper, and undeniable. But here is the catch. When your frequency changes, your compatibility changes. This is why toxic people suddenly feel heavier around you. Have you noticed that you used to be able to tolerate their gossip? You used to be able to sit in their drama and offer advice, but now it feels physically suffocating. It makes you nauseous. You leave a 5-minute conversation feeling like you need to take a shower to wash off the heaviness. This is why scrolling social media feels draining. This is why environments you used to tolerate now feel like chains. This is why relationships that once felt comfortable now feel constricting, like a shirt that is 2 sizes too small. Your body is rejecting what your spirit has outgrown. You are not being difficult, nor are you being antisocial or arrogant. You are evolving. You are vibrating at a level where low vibrational things can no longer exist in your space. The second layer is the spiritual recalibration. This is the deep work. This is the painful part. This is where God tears down old soul agreements. Not just relationships and not just habits, but spiritual contracts you made in fear, in trauma, and in survival mode. Maybe years ago you made an agreement with invisibility, agreeing to stay small so you wouldn't get hurt. Maybe you made an agreement with poverty, believing that money was evil, so you stayed broke to remain holy. Maybe you made an agreement with people-pleasing, believing your worth came from their approval. Heaven is dissolving these contracts right now, and it hurts. It hurts because before God transforms you, He must unroot you. Before He elevates you, He must empty you. Consider the caterpillar. We love the butterfly, but we ignore the savage process that creates it. When a caterpillar enters the cocoon, it does not just sprout wings. It completely dissolves. It releases enzymes that digest its own body. It turns into biological soup. If you were to cut open a cocoon halfway through the process, you wouldn't see a caterpillar and you wouldn't see a butterfly. You would see a mess. You would see liquid. Right now, chosen one, you are in the liquid stage. That is why you feel messy. That is why you feel confused. That is why you feel chaotic. You don't know who you are anymore because the old you has melted, but the new you hasn't solidified yet. That feeling of not knowing who you are is not a crisis. It is a chrysalis. You are not losing yourself. You are becoming yourself. The third layer is the operational shift. This is where your assignment changes. Phase 1 is complete. The season of survival is over. The season of proving yourself to people who don't matter is over. The season of begging for a seat at the table is over. God is not taking your life away. He is graduating you. The reason your old passion has been fading, the reason your previous dreams feel too small, and the reason you feel like an actor playing a role in a movie you didn't write, is because Phase 2 is beginning. The 72-hour chamber, the first, second, and third, is the official unlocking ceremony for this operational shift. You are moving from warrior to king. You are moving from student to teacher. You are moving from asking to decreeing. Now here is what most people miss. These aren't just vague spiritual concepts. There are actual signs, actual symptoms, and actual confirmations happening in your life right now that prove this transformation is real. You have already been seeing them this week. Think about the synchronicities, a stranger saying something oddly specific to you that answered a prayer you only prayed in your head. Think about the numbers, seeing 11, 222, 777, or 444 everywhere you look. That is the universe's way of winking at you, confirming alignment. Think about the memory loop, a random memory from childhood resurfacing that you haven't thought about in 20 years. Why is it coming up now? Because God is healing that specific timeline. Think about the ghosts, someone from your past, an ex or an old friend suddenly reaching out after years of silence. Do not be fooled. This is a test. They are checking to see if you are still living at an old address. But you aren't. You brushed these signs off, didn't you? You told yourself it was just a coincidence. Don't. Heaven rarely shouts. It whispers. And the chosen ones who pay attention to the whispers receive the instructions before the masses even know something is happening. That heaviness in your chest when you wake up is not anxiety. That is the old programming leaving your body. It is an exorcism of the self. That pulsing sensation between your eyebrows is not a headache. That is your spiritual vision opening. The sudden quietness you are craving is not isolation. That is your spirit erecting a boundary against interference, because heaven is transmitting classified information. Let me tell you what is really happening in your mind. Your old self is dying, and the ego hates dying. Right now, your ego is fighting for survival. It is screaming. That is why you are hearing thoughts like, maybe this whole chosen one thing is in my head, or maybe I am imagining it, or maybe I am just crazy and failing. That is not your spirit speaking. That is your old calibration panicking. It knows that this portal, this 72-hour chamber, is its final countdown. It knows it cannot survive the frequency of the new season. It is taking its last breath, and it is terrified. But here is what you need to understand. That old version of you has already expired. It is walking dead. The death certificate was signed the moment you chose growth over comfort. The death certificate was signed the moment you clicked on this message. The moment you said, God, I don't care what it costs, I want you, you initiated this process. You made choices recently that shifted everything. You probably didn't even realize how significant they were at the time. You stood your ground when you usually would have caved. You held your tongue when you usually would have lashed out. You forgave when you had every right to be bitter. And heaven noticed. You had every reason to break. You had every reason to retaliate. You had every reason to quit close down and give up on humanity. But you didn't. Instead, you chose something that few souls ever choose. You chose growth over reaction. You chose grace over ego. You chose peace over pride. You chose character over chaos. You chose to stay aligned with God even when it hurt, even when it cost you, even when no one understood your silence. That choice echoed through realms you cannot see, and heaven responded. A new protocol has been activated over your life, a higher level of protection, a higher level of discernment, a higher level of authority, and a higher level of access. This wasn't luck. This wasn't coincidence. This wasn't just emotional maturity. This was spiritual elevation. And with elevation comes responsibility. With elevation comes revelation. Now let me tell you what is coming. Because you are not just entering a new season. You are entering a dimension that most people never access. Doors are about to open that no human can close. Not because you are perfect. Not because you deserve it by merit alone. But because you stayed faithful when faithfulness made no logical sense. People who ignored you will seek your presence. Opportunities will pursue you instead of you chasing them. Blessings will appear without effort, without striving, without begging. Divine connections will replace toxic relationships. Your purpose will become undeniably clear. Your spiritual gifts will amplify. Your peace will become unshakable. Your favor will be public. And it will happen suddenly. This is not motivation. This is revelation. You are entering a season where everything hidden about you is being revealed, everything delayed is being released, and everything blocked is being removed. But here is the part that will test you. When this breakthrough comes, and it is coming faster than you think, you're going to be tempted to doubt it. You're going to be tempted to think it is too good to be true. You're going to be tempted to sabotage it because you have been disappointed so many times before. Don't. This is the real thing. This is what you have been prepared for. The next 30 days are going to feel like a tornado, not a destructive tornado, but a transformative one. Things will move fast. Clarity will come in downloads. Decisions will need to be made quickly. Old structures will collapse rapidly. New foundations will be laid simultaneously, and the first, second, and third of the cycles sit right in the middle of this whirlwind as the eye of the storm, the still point, the pivot, the turning. On those 3 days, I need you to do something very specific. This is not optional if you want to fully lock in what heaven is releasing. This is the 3-day protocol. On the first day, the day of silence, minimize your words and maximize your awareness. Don't fill the day with noise, with people with scrolling or with distractions. Create space. Heaven is going to speak, but he speaks in whispers, not shouts. If you are surrounded by chaos, you will miss the coordinate. This doesn't mean lock yourself in a room for 24 hours. It means move through your day with intentional, holy awareness. When thoughts come, don't dismiss them. When ideas surface, write them down. When you feel a pull towards something or away from something, honor it. You're calibrating your receiver. On the second day, the day of obedience, whatever you heard on day one, act on it. Even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it seems small. Even if it feels uncomfortable. Obedience is the bridge between revelation and manifestation. God is testing your responsiveness. He is not looking for perfection. He is looking for movement. He is looking for trust. He is looking for someone who will obey without needing the full blueprint explained first. If he says, call that person, call them. If he says, sow that seed, sow it. If he says, stop, stop. On the third day, the day of declaration, you seal it. Gratitude locks in what God releases. Declaration activates what God promises. Speak out loud what you are believing for. Thank God for what hasn't manifested yet, as if it already has. This isn't positive thinking. This is spiritual law. Faith calls things that are not as though they were. And when you combine gratitude with declaration, you create a frequency that pulls the future into the present. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what if nothing happens on those days? What if I don't feel anything? What if this is just another letdown? Let me address that right now. If you are asking those questions, you are still operating from the old paradigm where God has to prove himself to you. That mindset is exactly what is keeping you stuck. The new paradigm is this: you move in faith and God confirms in manifestation. Not the other way around. You don't wait to feel something before you obey. You obey and then you feel the shift. And here is the truth that will set you free. The shift has already happened. You're just now becoming conscious of it. The dates are not when the change occurs. They are when you fully step into the change that has already occurred in the spirit realm. You have already crossed the threshold. You have already entered the new dimension. You just haven't realized it yet because your mind is still catching up to where your spirit already is. Let me show you something that will confirm this is real. Think about the last 30 days of your life. Really think about it. Haven't there been moments, brief flashes, where you felt different, where you responded to a situation in a way that surprised even you, where you walked away from something that the old you would have clung to, where you spoke truth when the old you would have stayed silent? Those weren't accidents. Those were evidence. Evidence that the transformation was already happening. You thought those were just good days or random moments of clarity. No. Those were glimpses of the new you breaking through the surface, and what is about to happen is that the new you becomes permanent. It is no longer glimpses. It is no longer flashes. It becomes your default, your new normal, your operating system. Here is another confirmation that the shift is real. There has been an angelic reassignment in your life. About 3 or 4 months ago, there was a changing of the guard in the spiritual realm over you. Old assignments ended, and new assignments began. The angels that had been protecting you in your previous season were reassigned, and new angels, higher ranking, more powerful, and carrying different weaponry, took their place. This happened because you graduated to a new level that required a different kind of protection and a different kind of warfare strategy. You cannot fight tomorrow's battles with yesterday's weapons, and God upgraded your team because He knew what you were walking into. You know this is true because the spiritual attacks you have been facing lately are different. They are more sophisticated, more targeted, and more personal. The enemy isn't using the old tricks because they don't work on the new you. He has upgraded his strategy because you have become a bigger threat. This means the breakthrough on the other side of this warfare is more significant than anything you have experienced before. You are standing in your David moment. You have been fighting lions and bears in private battles. Nobody saw victories. Nobody celebrated tests. Nobody knew you were taking. You passed them in the dark. Now you are standing in front of your Goliath moment. This is the public breakthrough, the visible victory, the undeniable evidence that God's hand is on your life. Let me paint a picture of what your life is going to look like 6 months from now if you fully surrender to what is happening tonight. You're going to wake up one morning and realize you don't recognize your own life. The problems that consume your mind today will have dissolved. The people who drain you now will not have access to you. The confusion you are feeling will be replaced with crystal clarity. The doors that are closed now will not only be open, but you will have walked through them so fully that you will barely remember when they were locked. Your income will shift, your relationships will shift, and your health will shift. Your entire life is about to testify to the goodness of God in a way that will make people question what happened to you. But I must warn you, with great blessing comes great warfare. The enemy knows what is coming, which is why the attacks have been so intense lately. He's trying to disqualify you, distract you, or make you quit 1 inch before the finish line. Don't give him that satisfaction. Every attack is confirmation that you are on the right path. The intensity of the warfare is directly proportional to the magnitude of the breakthrough. The harder the battle, the bigger the blessing. There is a reason this message found you today. You were summoned here by heaven for this moment. Before you go, I need you to make a real decision. Not a hope, not a wish, but a decision. Decide that you are done with the old cycle. Decide that you are ready to receive what heaven has been holding for you. If you are ready to accept this assignment and emerge as the person God created you to be, then seal this word right now. Go to the comments and declare your readiness. Do not let this moment pass without an action. God tried to hide you for a season to protect you, but He cannot hide you anymore. The light inside you has become too bright. The curtain is being pulled back. The stage is set, and heaven is applauding. Chosen one, it is time. Walk in your victory.